Hello, I'm Sergeant Rufus Cravens with the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources. Today I'm here to answer a few questions of our frequently asked questions about deer season and some of the hunting regulations that then go along with that. Okay, the things that are required to hunt deer in Kentucky are an annual hunting license, either a resident or non-resident, depending on your residential status. A statewide deer permit, again, either resident or non-resident. Any hunter aged 12 or older that was born on or after January 1st, 1975 is also required to have their hunter education certificate, or their orange card as it's most commonly called. There are certain individuals who are exempt from being required to have a Kentucky hunting license and deer permit. First, resident and non-resident children under the age of 12 are exempt. Also, Kentucky resident landowners, their spouses, and dependent children who are hunting upon their own property, and also tenant farmers, their spouses and dependent children who are hunting upon properties in which they reside and work. Again, for the tenant exemption, the tenant farmer exemption, the individual must reside and work on the property in which they are hunting to be licensed exempt. Also, Kentucky servicemen and women who are on furlough leave of greater than 3 days are exempt. They must carry their proper identification and their furlough papers showing their furlough status as well. Hunter orange is required anytime there's a modern gun deer season in Kentucky, a muzzleloading season, as well as for bear and elk, any kind of firearm season for those. During that time, anyone that's hunting any species of animal during daylight hours is required to wear hunter orange, as well as any individuals that are accompanying the hunter. The orange, according to regulation, must be solid, unbroken orange, being orange all the way on the hat, being orange all the way around, and then on the vest, must cover the sides, the back, and the chest. There can be a small logo on the hat or the vest, as long as it's not very large. As far as the orange and camouflage combination pattern that you see sometimes, that does not fulfill the requirement for the hunter orange. I get asked several times, if you're hunting on your own land, do you still need to telecheck the deer? The answer is yes. Even though you're hunting on your own property and may be licensed and permit exempt, you still have to abide by all the other laws and regulations for the hunting seasons, as far as bag limits, what type of weapon you're using, season dates, and so forth. And that deer must be telechecked just like if you were hunting on property that was not your own. Get asked several times if you can field dress the deer while out there or process it in the field. If you're going to field dress the deer, what you need to take out your harvest log and fill in the date, the sex, the county, and the type of animal. And then at that point you can field dress the deer and take and go ahead and drag the deer out. Sometimes people are way back from the vehicle, they don't have anyone else to help them drag the deer out, and want to know if they can process the deer in the field. The answer to that is yes. You either must telecheck the deer first before you process it, or if you do not telecheck it first, you must leave part of the deer remaining that can be used to identify the sex of the deer, such as the head. Suppressors are legal in Kentucky to use during deer season as long as they were legally obtained and properly installed upon the firearm. Youth hunters in Kentucky must telecheck their deer just like every other hunter. It's the same process. The only difference for a youth is you would use the social security number for the youth themselves. A lot of times when people call in, they'll have a bad signal and they'll lose service during the call, and they want to know whether they should call back and try again. The best thing to do if you're telechecking your deer and something happens, the call drops or your phone battery goes dead or anything like that, continue to call in, check that deer in until you get a full confirmation number that you can write down. Then, on the next business day during regular business hours, you can contact our headquarters at 1-800-858-1549 and explain to them what's going on, and they can check to make sure that there are no duplicate confirmation numbers for that particular deer. I get asked a lot of times, can I hunt over bait? The answer to that is if you're hunting on private property, then you can hunt deer over bait in Kentucky. If you're hunting on public property, such as one of our wildlife management areas or Daniel Boone National Forest or some other area like that, then the answer is no, you cannot hunt deer or any other animals over bait. If you're out and you're hunting, or you're just out and about and not hunting, and you happen to witness a violation, a hunting, fishing, boating, or trapping violation, I urge you, please call our Report a Poacher hotline. That can be reached at 1-800-25-ALERT. When you call, you'll go through to Kentucky State Police Dispatch. They'll ask you what county that your complaint is in, and you can tell them the county. They will then transfer you to the KSP post that works that county, and they will be able to take your complaint and get that information out to the appropriate conservation officer who works that area. If you have any additional questions that might not have been covered here, you can always go online to our website at www.fw.ky.gov, or you can check out a copy of the hunting guide, which is available where licenses are sold. Also, you could call our 1-800 number, which is 1-800-858-1549. Again, be safe, have fun, and good luck.